Welcome to modern property management in Arizona. Property management today is no longer just about collecting rent and fixing leaky faucets. It is about running a compliant, well-documented, and financially sound operation under strict regulatory oversight. This course is designed specifically for designated brokers and brokers with delegated duties who are responsible for managing not only properties, but also risk, trust accounts, supervision, and legal compliance in Arizona. As we move into 2026, the Arizona Department of Real Estate, ADRE, has made one thing clear. Brokers must operate at a higher level of accountability than ever before. With the 2025 rule changes, which updated over 50-plus rules, the focus has shifted towards stronger supervision, better documentation, and real-world alignment between what brokers say they do and what they actually do in practice. This means your role as a broker is no longer reactive, it is proactive. You are expected to lead, supervise, document, and protect your clients and your brokerage every step of the way. What this course will teach you and why it matters. This course is built to feel like a real-world walkthrough of property management from start to finish. Each section connects to the next, just like a real property management operation. You will learn how to understand broker liability and supervision under AAC, R428 1103, apply trust account requirements under ARS, paragraph 32-2171 through 32-2175, implement proper accounting systems using GAAP principles, and properly handle tenant funds, deposits, and move-outs under ARS, paragraph 33-11321. We will also cover advertising compliance under AAC R4-28502, audit procedures used by ADRI, and how disciplinary actions under ARS, paragraph 32-2153 actually happen in real life, not just in theory. Think of this course as your blueprint for running a compliant property management business, not just passing a test, but protecting your license. The big picture, property management as a business system. At its core, property management is the oversight and operation of real estate assets on behalf of an owner. It includes leasing, maintenance, rent collection, financial reporting, and tenant relations. But here is where many brokers make a costly mistake. They treat property management like a side service instead of a fully regulated business system. Let's look at a real-world example. A broker in Gilbert manages 75 rental properties. Rent is coming in, tenants are being placed, and maintenance calls are being handled. Everything seems to be running smoothly. However, there are no monthly trust account reconciliations, no written policies, and no consistent documentation. Then ADRI shows up for an audit. Now the broker is facing potential violations under ARS, paragraph 32-2174 for improper handling of property management accounts, ARS, paragraph 32-2175 for record-keeping failures, and AAC R428-1103 for lack of proper supervision. This is how small oversights turn into major problems. Understanding the scope of property management is not one size fits all. It spans across multiple property types, each with different levels of responsibility and risk. Residential property management may involve a single-family home in Mesa, with basic tenant placement and maintenance coordination. Commercial property management, on the other hand, may involve office buildings in Phoenix that require budgeting, CAM charges, lease analysis, and tenant negotiations. HOA and community management adds another layer, involving governance, reserve funds, and compliance with association rules. As a broker, you do not need to personally manage every detail, but you are responsible for supervising the people who do. That responsibility is non-delegable under Arizona law. Who needs to be licensed and who doesn't? Arizona law provides certain exemptions under ARS, paragraph 32-2121. Owners managing their own properties are typically exempt. On-site managers working at a single location without special compensation may also be exempt. However, the moment a third party, or a brokerage, is involved, licensing laws and broker supervision rules apply. For example, an investor in Chandler managing their own rentals may not need a license, but if they hire a brokerage to manage those properties, the broker must now comply with all property management laws, trust account requirements, and supervision standards. The key takeaway is simple. Exemptions do not remove liability, they only shift who is responsible. The real risk, trust accounts and tenant funds. One of the most common areas where brokers get into trouble is trust accounting. Arizona law under ARS Parf 32-2151 and ARS Parf 32-2174 requires brokers to properly handle and account for all client funds, including rents and security deposits. Here's a common mistake. A brokerage manages multiple properties and holds all tenant funds in one account, including properties owned by agents within the brokerage. This creates commingling. Under Arizona law, a licensee and their broker are considered one legal entity, meaning those funds cannot be mixed with other managed funds. Separate accounting and proper handling are required. This is one of the fastest ways a broker can face disciplinary action. Tenant move-outs, where lawsuits begin. Another high-risk area is the handling of tenant move-outs and security deposits. Under ARS, paragraph 33-11321, landlords must return the tenant's security deposit within 14 business days and provide an itemized list of any deductions. Let's look at a simple example. A tenant moves out of a property in Tempe, and the property manager waits 30 days to return the deposit. Even if the deductions are completely valid, the landlord could still face legal consequences simply for missing the deadline. In property management, timing is just as important as accuracy. How this section connects to the rest of the course. Everything we covered here is just the foundation. Next, we will break down broker supervision and liability in detail, showing exactly how brokers are held accountable under Arizona law. From there, we will move into trust accounting systems, record-keeping requirements, advertising compliance, and audit procedures. Each section builds on the previous one, just like a real property management operation. By the end of this course, you will not only understand the rules, you will know how to apply them in real life. Online discussion. Why is property management considered a higher risk area for brokers compared to traditional sales? Answer: because it involves ongoing handling of client funds, continuous supervision responsibilities, and long-term relationships, increasing exposure to legal and regulatory violations. How do the 2025 ADRI rule changes impact brokers in daily operations? Answer: they require stronger supervision, clearer documentation, updated advertising practices, and alignment between brokerage policies and real-world actions. What is the most common mistake brokers make in property management? Answer: treating property management like a side service instead of a regulated system, which leads to poor documentation, weak supervision, and trust account violations.